Welcome back to episode 80, Miles Boykin video, the Miles Boykin stream of the Purple Rain podcast. Thank you for coming through, and just big thank you, coming through every week. I'm just happy the season's here. But we'll get out the way real quick. Instagram at Purple Rain Podcast. You can find me on Twitter simply as10prod, or on Instagram simply as10.prod. And for this guy over here, it's really simple. Instagram, Twitter, Sutton Def. Just do it. Like Nike. Just like a shirt. Just do it. Just do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to episode 80 of the Purple Rain podcast. Big shout out to the entire Rain gang. Everybody in here watching live right now. Real quick, just make sure you go ahead and like the video before we get into anything else. Like the video. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because there's lots of more Purple Rain content coming your way, including a giveaway at 2,000 subscribers. We're at about 1,700 right now. So T-minus less than 300 subscribers, we will be doing a jersey giveaway. So stay tuned for that and make sure you subscribe if you're new because you don't want to miss out on that. You do not. But
you don't.
Also, if you're not watching us live right now and you're part of the hashtag replay gang, big shout out to you. We thank you so much. Make sure you leave a hashtag replay gang in the comments and we will get to you. Love your comment, like your comment, reply to it, whatever. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys so much. Also, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, all that stuff, make sure, tune into the live stream at some point too. Because, we love you guys. Listen to
we
Apple
got pretty
Podcasts.
faces, I'd say.
We got pretty faces, Come through PRP, the live episode. We can chop it up together. But we love you guys just as much. Thank you guys so much. Like the video one more time for the one time. Now listen, this is the preview episode. We are going against the Bengals this week. So of course,
first divisional game. AFC North football is back.
Talk about it. Let's go. AFC North divisional football, that smash mouth football that we've all come to know and love over the years, is back this Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. The Ravens are taking on the Cincinnati Bengals, and we got a lot to talk about tonight. So I hope you guys are ready just as much as we are. But first, before we get into anything else, we do want to bring up the people who are in the live chat right now joining the stream. We appreciate you guys so much. Jackson Howard in the building says, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is doing great. We're doing awesome, Jackson. How are you doing? We appreciate you. Let's see. K-Dog in the house. Mod K-Dog in the house per usual. Purple Rain Pioneer in the house. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining the stream, K-Dog. Let's see. Zeke Hokage's in the building. Jabari Cruz Ellis, another Purple Rain Pioneer in the building. Devin Duke says, what's up, guys? What's up, Devin? How are you doing tonight, man? Let us know. Yolanda says, hi, PRP fam. Hope everyone is doing well. Yes, we are doing fine. Like he said, same to you, Yolanda. We hope you're doing good, too. Raven Ron in the building says, what up, PRP? Lamar putting Logan Wilson in the spin cycle. We'll get to that. And we're going to get to the whole Logan Wilson thing for sure. Darius, the official. Shout out to Darius. Says, what's up, gang? Thank you for joining the stream tonight. Lisa joins the stream. What's up, Lisa? X-Lee is here. DLC is in the building. J Prime 235. Everybody King is in the building. Oh, man. Everyone's here, man. Daquan Jones. Big shout out to you guys, man. We appreciate you guys. Our guy Void is here, too. Big shout out to him, too. So, like we said, guys, this is Bengals week. It's AFC North divisional football week. So, of course, we have a lot to talk about here. I did want to throw something out there. I want to sprinkle this in here. In a couple weeks, the Ravens are playing the Minnesota Vikings at M&T Bank Stadium. I will be at that game.
You better bring a win. Game. Listen, Ravens are 1-0 when one of us is there. Actually, 2-0 including, the preseason game. You gotta make it 3-0.
Yeah,
I need it.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping we can shut down Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson and those boys when the Vikings come to town to take on the Ravens. But let me know if any of you guys are going to that game because I would love to meet up with you guys. I'm getting there mad early. I'm going to tailgate, the whole 9 yards. I'm bringing a grill, everything, a football, everything.
Oh boy!
So make sure you guys pull up. If you guys are going to be there, pull up on me and we can definitely chop it up. Have a great time. But I did want to throw that out there. Now let's go ahead and get into this game. Why don't we?
Yeah.
Let's get into this. Let's not mince any words. Let's get right into what the people came here for tonight. Ravens versus Bengals. And you guys know how we do it here on the Purple Rain podcast, how we break down the preview episodes. We're going to start with the team ranks. Between the Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. And I will list those now. So, of course, the Ravens right now are sitting at 5-1. The Bengals are currently sitting at 4-2. I believe, 4-2, right? Yeah. So not too much difference in record. They're sitting right behind us in the AFC North. They're on our heels. Nobody could really say that coming into the
You can
season. The
feel them.
Bengals will be right.
You feel them
Exactly.
on
You
our
can feel
neck.
them
They're breathing on us.
on the neck.
Yeah.
It's real. Yeah. Yeah. They're real close. But nobody really predicted that coming into the season that the Bengals would be this close on the Ravens' heels, contending for the top spot in the AFC North. So big shout out to the Bengals first and foremost. They're playing really well this season. I mean, they're not like world beaters or anything like that, but they're playing a lot better than the Cincinnati Bengals did in the past. So you got to give them their props for that.
Yeah,
first and foremost, definitely. But let's go ahead through these team records again, or team ranks. I'm sorry. Points scored per game. The Cincinnati Bengals score about 24.7 points a game, which is ranked 11th in the league. The Baltimore Ravens scored 28.3 points a game, which is ranked 7th in the league. Going on to points allowed per game. The Cincinnati Bengals, they allow only 18.5 points a game, which is ranked 5th in the league. That's top 5. That's
a surprise.
It is. It is a very surprising stat. The Baltimore Ravens, not too far behind. They allow 20.5 points per game, which is ranked 7th in the league. And then you look at the passing yards per game. The Cincinnati Bengals throw for about 238 a game, which is ranked 18th in the league. The Ravens throw for about 266 per game, which is ranked 11th in the league. So that's directly Joe Burrow versus Lamar Jackson right there.
Yeah.
Going down to rushing yards per game, the Cincinnati Bengals, they rush for about 106 a game, which is ranked 20th in the league. The Ravens rush for about 155 a game, which is ranked 4th in the entire National Football League. Now let's go into the defensive pass yards allowed per game. The Cincinnati Bengals allow about 240 yards passing per game, which is ranked 13th in the league. The Baltimore Ravens allow 277 pass yards per game, which is ranked 25th in the league. Like you said, that's not good. That is not good. And then the last team rank stat, defensive rushing yards allowed per game. The Cincinnati Bengals allow about 90 rushing yards per game, which is ranked 8th in the league. And the Ravens, they allow 82 rushing yards per game, which is ranked 3rd in the league. So the run D has been good over the past couple weeks. That's why this stat looks good. We're in the top 3 in defensive rushing yards allowed. And the Cincinnati Bengals, they're allowing 90 yards rushing a game, which is not that bad either. They're only
that's good.
Yeah, they're averaging, I think, less than 4 yards a carry. So that is going to be like a point of emphasis going into this game. But what were some of the big things you took away from the team ranks? I know you said something about the passing yards allowed per game for the Ravens, 277, ranking 25th in the league. Any concern going into this week about that?
You know what? If last week didn't happen, yes. But I don't know what we saw last week from defensive coordinator Wink Martindale or what was going on with the Chargers. I mean, I know Mike Williams was banged up, but Anthony Averett, he had a shaky first half, but he stepped up the second half. I mean, that was all pro Marlowe. That was the reason. That was the Marlon Humphrey we gave $100 million to. That showed up last week. And, having Sean Elliott back there really helped out a lot. I mean, you could tell when he was back there, we just played more freely. We had him, on Jared Cook getting a nice little snag interception. And we actually were forcing turnovers, which I like to see.
Yeah.
We had that pick, and did we have another pick or no?
It was just the one.
Just the one? Well, we actually call it force a turnover, which is kind of rare from this defense so far. I mean, I'll be honest with you. But I did like that. But what we did do, I don't know if you saw the report, that we just showed a lot of different packages and little schemes against Herbert, and he got confused.
Yeah.
Joe Burrows played us once because he was hurt second game last year. I won't be surprised with the same exact thing. Make him confused. And when we played him the first time last year, he was on his butt. He had that fumble that Patrick Queen caused. Got sacked like 5 or 6 times. I think it could have been 7, I'm pretty sure. I know he was in the dirt a lot. But I definitely think that this could be one of those games that could go either way. I want to say that's going to be close because it's a division game. But at the same time, you don't really know what we've been used to blowouts, let's be honest. But I think this is a different Bengals team, to be honest, too. Yeah,
you're right. It is. And I think that and we'll get into the keys to victory a little bit later, but I do think that the Cincinnati Bengals, they're very how do I say, like, big play reliant. They're very reliant on a big Jamar Chase play, down the field, 60, 70-yard touchdown, Burrow to Chase, that sort of thing. I feel like if we can lock up on that, and the assumption is All-Pro Marlowe will be on Jamar Chase, shadowing him around this week. If we can neutralize Jamar Chase and kind of just take away that big play, I think the Ravens will be in good shape in terms of trying to win this game. I think they really will. So take
Fully
away the
agree.
big play, and because after that, after you take away Jamar Chase, it's really just like who can nickel and dime the best
Yep.
to a victory, and I don't think that any team in the league is better than the Ravens are at nickel and diming and trying to scratch and claw to a victory, so
Yeah.
I don't think the Bengals are going to march into M&T Bank Stadium and take that victory away from Lamar Jackson and company if the Ravens can take away the big play.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and get into the injury report. Why not?
Okay. I'm cool with
Talk
that.
about who's playing, who's not, who's could be playing, who couldn't be playing. Alex, take it away.
So speaking of injuries, you just want to get the Ronnie Stanley news out the way. I mean, because he's not on the report anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say we called it, but on the Purple Rain podcast, we do have a history of getting things just the ball, the crystal ball. We've called things before, and unfortunately, we called this. Ronnie Stanley shut down for the season with an ankle injury.
Yeah.
Super unfortunate, but it was kind of expected. But look at the injury report now. Not practicing Latavius Murray, Sammy Watkins, and Brandon Williams. Murray with the ankle, Watkins with the thigh. Williams is just rest. He'll play. Sammy Watkins won't. I think he'll be back after the bye week. Latavius Murray is the only question mark for me. I think if he practices tomorrow, even limited, he might be good to go on Sunday. And then for limited, we have Bradley Bozeman, Patrick Queen, Villanueva, and Tavon Young. Very good news that Bradley Bozeman is practicing, because when he first went down, I'm not going to lie, I'm like, that's season ending. When you see a lineman on the ground rarely moving, it's like, oh, crap.
Right.
Especially, but it's a good thing he's practicing. For the Bengals, they're Jalen Davis, the only one who did not practice. Limited practice, though, Trey Hendrickson. That's kind of the only big guy that I can see on here. Hendrickson signed that big contract this offseason. He's played really well. I think 5.5 sacks. That's he's earned his pay, and he's kind of one of my keys already is shutting him down. He can definitely torch a game and make a game his. And Joey Bosa was kind of quiet last week. If we can hold him at least, if we can hold him to 1 sack, that's a good game for me. That's a really good game. But I expect them to be full health. They won't be missing any guys like the Chargers defense was last week. So I mean, both teams relatively. Can you even call the Ravens healthy right now? What would you call for the Ravens?
I don't even know what to call healthy anymore. You know what I mean? Because you look at us with 17, 18, 19 players on IR at this point, and we're still 5-1. It's we're not healthy, but we're making it look like we're the healthiest team in the league.
Yeah, it's weird. It's okay. So our starting running back and receiver are they didn't practice, but we're pretty healthy. It's weird. It's weird. I guess because we've been through so much already. But the Bengals looking pretty good health wise. That players that aren't on the injury report. So it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a very good game. A very good AFC North divisional game. I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, I think it's gonna be a close game. But we'll get into that.
Definitely looking forward to it. Let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat. And if you're watching this after the fact and you're not part of the live chat, make sure you catch the Purple Rain podcast on Mondays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. because we love to chop it up with you guys here live on the show. Let's see what we're talking about here. See, we got a Bengals fan in the chat tonight, Charles Xavier. Big shout out to Charles, man, coming through, being a good sport.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming through, man. Even as a Bengals fan, we're all Ravens fans here, but it's just nothing but respect, of course, between two AFC North divisional opponents and two very good ones as well. Respect to you guys being second in the division. Says Bengals are coming for Lamar. Hey, man, they could be. They could be. I mean, the pass rush, we know the recipe to beating Lamar Jackson is beating his offensive line. And that goes for most quarterbacks, of course, but we saw it more than ever last year in that Bills game. When the Ravens were contending to win that game, but it was just the offensive line just could not get anything going, no sort of consistency at all. There were penalties left and right, and that made Lamar Jackson be rendered useless on the field. So if the Bengals can generate a good pass rush, specifically probably with 4 guys, because if you send the house at Lamar, I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to make the right read and he's going to burn you for a touchdown with his arm. That is,
and you don't know what receiver it is now. let's just be honest. There's
Exactly.
actually some threats out there.
Let's talk about that too. We got
Yeah.
options now on our receiving core. Charles, I hope you're listening up. We got options now.
Yeah,
Sammy
just like
Watkins.
Stockton.
Sammy Watkins probably won't be here for this game, but maybe he'll be here for the second game we play you guys. But Marquise Hollywood Brown, Rashad Bateman looked really good in his first week. Mark Andrews has been looking like the best
Puff.
tight end in football past 2 games.
And it's National
You know what
Tight
I mean?
Ends Day too on Sunday.
It is. He said
And
he
it's a
plans
1
to
p.m.
celebrate.
CBS game. Oh my gosh.
That's a double whammy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man,
Yeah.
make sure you guys like the video. This is Purple Rain Podcast, episode 80. So let's talk about what was I about to say? Oh yeah, let's talk about some other things that you guys have going on here in the chat here. I see somebody that says something about Tyler Sugar says they said we had concerns about pass defense, but we only allowed less than 150. Yeah, man, like I was saying before, if we can limit Jamar Chase, I don't really see anybody else on this receiving core right now that can really hurt us. Let me know if I'm wrong, Alex. Do you know anybody else?
Only
I mean,
Boyd and Higgins. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. I
Boyd,
know
yeah.
I was watching the only other Bengals game I've watched I watched the Packers Bengals game. T. Higgins had a really nice 2-point conversion from them. I've caught the highlights, obviously, of the Bengals game. I'm not going to sit here and say I've watched every single one of them, but I've caught the highlights,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't let these guys get open. I mean,
No.
Higgins, we know about Tyler Boyd. Ravens fans know all about Tyler Boyd. We just take back to 2017.
You're right.
But at the same time, it's they can pick us apart. They picked apart the Steelers, and Steelers have a good defense, in my opinion. Did a great job picking them apart. Higgins, Chase, as well as Boyd. But honestly, I'm looking at Joe Mixon too. I mean, Mixon isn't he's not your Derrick Henry, he's not your Alvin Kamara, not your Aaron Jones, but he can still get you some yards on a third and short yardage. He can get it. And I'm looking at our run defense has to step up. I
Just
mean,
like they did last week against Austin
exactly.
Eckler.
And this I'm not saying their offense is the same, but it kind of reminds me of what the Chargers do. They got weapons on the outside and they got a good back. But what we did, like whatever Wink's game plan was against the Chargers, I loved it because he just attacked them when necessary. And just imagine if Marcus Peters and LJ Fort were healthy.
Yeah.
If Derek Wolfe was healthy, he's doing this with backups in the game too, with second-year players and guys who've barely been on the team. So
yeah,
I'm looking at another Wink maybe masterclass possibly, but at the same time it could be a disaster class because Burrow is just that guy. To be honest.
Yeah, he is a very talented quarterback, and I find it very interesting that you say that about us being able to get to Burrow, that sort of thing. A lot of people don't know, but the Baltimore Ravens right now are top 10 in the league in quarterback hits, sacks, and pressures. So
we were worried about that in the offseason. We were very worried.
Drastically worried about us being able to get to the quarterback, but this year it seems like that side of the defense is getting better. And credits go to guys like Justin Houston and, of course, the rookie Odafe Owe. So I think that, like you said, Wink could definitely call like a masterclass sort of game. If he can dial up the right pressures at the right times, confuse Joe Burrow, that sort of thing. I feel like it could be a big game, another big game for the defense, because we saw last week they had a big game as well, completely shutting down the run, handcuffing Justin Herbert to less than 200 yards passing. So
I think
yeah,
182
it was
the exact number.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely think that, the defense can carry that momentum going into this week. But the biggest, we're going to get into the keys to victory in a second, but I want to bring this up before we get to keys to victory. Earlier this week, and this has been like a trending topic this week, Logan Wilson, linebacker for the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, he was famously quoted in an interview saying that Lamar Jackson is a running back that plays the quarterback position. He's dynamic, yada, yada, yada. You guys all know what he said. Alex, I want to know from you, what did you take from that quote? Did you take any sort of offense to it? Because, everybody and anybody on the internet that's not a Ravens fan will not hesitate to call Lamar Jackson a running back. And that's very offensive to us Ravens fans because we know what Lamar Jackson can do as a quarterback. If you took away Lamar Jackson's legs, like completely, he would definitely still be an above average quarterback in this league. And us Ravens fans know that. So it's very offensive when we hear the whole Lamar's a running back thing, no matter who it's coming from, no matter in what context, it kind of strikes a nerve, right? So what was your initial reaction to hearing Logan Wilson say that?
I was like, really? And then I kind of saw it was taken out of context. But leave it to the media. And I think the guy, the analyst who said it, the guy on Twitter who said it, he's been known to have some very bad takes. I didn't think really too much of it. I mean, I really don't care. There's a reason why Lamar has any team that's beaten Lamar, he's beaten them too. There's no team that has Lamar's number. Like you, so I mean, you can say what you want to, but it's really whatever. If you want to keep Lamar is like that person. If you just keep like punching him or like trying to go after him, he's just going to do something to you right back and not say a word about it. You know. So I'm not really worried about all the talk. I mean, we saw Jermaine Pratt say it, and then J.K. Dobbins like just ran right by him. I'm not worried about it. I'm really not. It's neither here nor there. I don't think it was meant as a shot, but it's whatever. So
right. Yeah, shout out to Mod Boz in the building. Says, yo, Rain Gang. What's up, Boz? We appreciate you for coming through tonight. Taquan Christian, also in the house, says, yo, Rain Gang. Alex and Sutton, what's up? What's up, Taquan? We appreciate you so much for coming through. Our guy, Gerald, in the house. G-Money in the house. Big shout out to Gerald. Says, what's up, Sutton Def and Simply AS10. What's going on with you, Gerald? We appreciate you. Thanks for coming through the stream. We appreciate you. All right. But yeah, I mean, my initial reaction to Logan Wilson, man, I get it. You know what I mean? Like you say the whole Lamar is a running back thing. It makes sense because like he's top 10 in the league in rushing right now. No quarterback should be top 10 in the league in rushing yards 7 weeks into the season, 6-7 weeks into the season. So it's like I get the whole like he's a running back that plays quarterback because they do run the ball and design runs with him a lot. He takes off a lot, less than he has in previous seasons, but he does. The simple fact is that he does, and more so often than any other quarterback in the league. So I don't want to say it's a fair criticism, but to me, it just makes sense. It just makes sense. Like he runs the ball. He's very good. It's kind of reminiscent of a running back. You don't like. I've never seen a quarterback do what Lamar Jackson did to the Bengals 2 years ago on that play that everybody knows what I'm talking about. Where he, comes out of the backfield, hits the spin, and then goes into the end zone. I've never seen a quarterback even come close to doing anything close to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Running backs, maybe, but quarterbacks, no. So it's like from Logan Wilson's standpoint, I can understand what he's saying, but it still kind of feels like there's some underhanded shade because you know what that comes off as, right? Like Logan Wilson is not dumb. He wasn't born yesterday.
Yeah. My thing is like running backs take hits.
Yeah.
Lamar really doesn't take hits. You know who takes hits? That quarterback up in Buffalo. That boy, he literally will get hit by 3 or 4 people and still be on his feet. It may not look like it's a big hit, but you getting hit, come on now. And bro, he doesn't hold the ball right. Like, come on now. Like, I have feelings about when you call him that. It's when somebody says he's a running back, bro, just know they don't know what they're talking about. Right. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's really that simple.
Yeah, so. You're right. We do have our first super chat donation coming in from our guy DLC. Thank you so much. Making it rain here on episode 80 of the Purple Rain podcast. Says last time we started like this, it was 2019, and we've been talking about this. Like this season is kind of reminiscent of that 2019 season. We lost that game to the Browns in 2019, and then after that, we just did not look back.
You were there, yeah, of course.
I was there. Yeah. I remember like it was yesterday. But yeah, like after that loss, we just did not look back, and we did not lose another game for the rest of the regular season. So yeah, it definitely is kind of feeling like that 2019, especially with all the, the drama and like I've been saying, this is like the soap opera season for the Ravens. Yeah. Like it's just an emotional roller coaster up and down. It definitely feels like this is, I don't want to say our year, but it just feels like something special is brewing in Baltimore right now. Yeah.
It's a good mixture of 2019 and 2012. I mean, we had the injuries in 2012. We didn't have a lot of injuries in 2019. I mean, Tony Jefferson, that was an injury. But like the injuries we had this year, I know in 2012, we had Ray go down. Our defense banged up. Like our offense was winning us games with Flacco at QB. And we actually had a good receiving core. Like it's starting to like, okay, wait, we have a good receiving core this year. The contract talks with our quarterback in 2012 with Flacco. The contract talks with Lamar in 2021. It's kind of weird. But hey, I mean, if it ends the same result, I don't think any of us care as long as we hoist that Lombardi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. We already know that's what the Ravens are aiming for. That's what Lamar Jackson and company is aiming for. That's why after the Chargers game, like nobody was really hyped. You know what I mean? Nobody was really like, acting like we won the Super Bowl or anything like that. If anything, after we handled the Chargers, how we handled them, like in that fashion, me personally, I was like, okay, it's time to get serious. this could be our year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, but have you noticed it's more of what did the Chargers do wrong versus what did the Ravens do right? Have you noticed that?
yes, yes,
Like,
I
I'm
have
like,
noticed that.
and just the disrespect, and I brought it up. We can't play the clip, unfortunately. The Good Morning Football talking about the best team in the AFC.
Hmm.
I love that show. I really do. But the fact that Kyle Brandt was like, can you just what was that word that Kyle Brandt described with the Ravens losing to the Bills in the playoffs last year?
Yeah, he said the Ravens got smoked by the Bills.
Yeah, smoked. We outgained them in yards. Uh, they scored 10 points defensively, and our quarterback was hurt. I even said it. We
Mm,
were one overthrown pass by the wind away from being 17-10 with in the fourth quarter. We didn't get
yeah.
smoked. So we're consistently just being disrespected. It's going to keep happening. I mean, are we used to, like, are we even surprised? I'm used to it. We don't get the credit.
Yeah.
Whatever. Cool.
And
But
you look at that you look at that Chargers game, like you said, like it was more so about like what did the Chargers do wrong, and oh, the
right.
Chargers lost this game more so than the Ravens are just that good. Before going into this game, it
Right.
was like, oh, the Justin Herbert and then Mike Williams got the most touchdowns in the league right now, wide receivers, and you
This
got Keenan
defense just got
Allen.
the Colts ripped us apart.
Right. Colts has ripped apart the Ravens defense. Carson went through for over 400 yards, this and that, yada, yada, yada. The Chargers are coming into town with Joey Bosa and Derwin James and all those boys. Look, and we just neutralized them all, right? And after the fact, it's like nobody really wants to give the Ravens their flowers, which is, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, everybody is still kind of the school of thought, like, oh, eventually the Ravens are going to slip up. They're going to fall behind in the game against a big AFC opponent, and they're not going to be able to come back, that sort of thing. We're tired of that narrative, right?
We were down to the Chiefs. If
Yeah.
that wasn't the big AFC opponent in the AFC Championship the AFC champions the past 2 years came back.
Yeah.
What else do we need to do?
Right.
You want us to go down? You want us to start 30-0, like that? So the first quarter starts, we're down 30-0. You want us to come back? Is that the only way you'll shut up? Because that's how it
Right.
feels.
Exactly. Let's see. We have another super chat donation coming in from Jonathan Washington Jr. Thank you, Jonathan, so much for making it rain here. Episode 80 of the Purple Rain podcast. We got about 83 people watching live right now. Make sure you guys like the video. And if you're new here and you're enjoying what me and Alex are talking about, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, because there's a lot more content coming your way. But thank you so much, Jonathan. We appreciate you. Okay, so Alex, you want to go ahead and get into some keys to victory for this week?
Yeah, honestly, you've already talked about one, with shutting down Jamar Chase, neutralizing Jamar Chase.
Right.
That's kind of was one of mine. Great one. I mean, he's just all the questions out of college. He's to shut up. I can catch the ball. I can be a big play. I can be explosive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to give yours? We can go back and forth.
Sure. I mean, like I said, like you said, Jamar Chase, shutting him down will be first and foremost, because like I said, if we can take away that big play, the Bengals will probably be scrambling for answers, especially on offense, because I don't foresee Joe Mixon really getting off this week, and that's going to be another one of my keys to victory. We got to keep shutting down the run, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have to keep shutting down the run. That's what we did last week. We forced Justin Herbert and that Chargers offense to be one-dimensional very early in the game, and that boded very, very well for us. So we have to shut down the run. Another key to victory. This is another key to victory that I had from last week. We have to start fast. You see what happens when the Ravens start fast. We blow teams out. It happened a lot in 2019.
7 points.
Exactly. 7 points on the first drive. That can make the entire difference for the whole game. It really can.
I agree.
It's like night and day. Like once we get our opponents fighting our fight and we're not fighting their fight, oh, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
We get up on you one score and we can start leaning on you with the run game. You saw what we did to the Chargers last week. Almost ran for 200 yards. Like, come on, man. If we can do that against the Bengals, it'll be a wrap.
Yeah.
I just think we got to score on that first drive. Like you said, I don't think Sammy Watkins is going to play. I don't think he's going to suit up, but that is okay. That's perfectly fine with me. Give him his rest. Yeah. Give him his rest this week. We got the bye next week. Rashad Bateman is more than enough to step up and fill that role. He had 4 catches last week, all 4 for first downs to move the chain. So I have no doubt in my mind that Rashad Bateman can step up and be that guy that Sammy Watkins is in our offense. But that is going to be my other key to victory. Rashad Bateman, I think he's definitely going to have to step up in this game. I think he's going
Okay.
to have a big game. I think teams are going to be definitely singling out guys like Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews. You
Mm-hmm.
got to think about it this way: the last time we saw Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown have a really big game was against the Colts on primetime television. What do we know about primetime television? Everybody's watching because it's on national TV. You know, so people are taking heed. These teams are taking heed to the fact that Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown are the primary weapons. So they're going to be putting a lot of attention on them, which will leave a ton of opportunities for guys like Rashad Bateman to be open and,
Yep.
make plays. So those are going to be my keys to victory, man. Shutting down the run, scoring early. And I think our guy Rashad Bateman is going to have another big game. I think he's got to have another big game because it's clear and obvious that the Ravens want him on the field. He was second on the team in snaps last week and wide receivers behind Hollywood Brown. So those are going to be my keys to victory. What are yours?
So bringing up Bateman, he getting a touchdown this week?
Somebody had said something about Bateman getting a touchdown. I think it was Lisa saying, do we think Bateman's going to get his first touchdown this week? I am going to go out on a limb right here, right now, and say Rashad Bateman, he does get his first
Okay.
touchdown
I'm
this
loving
week.
it. Okay.
It's going to be a red zone touchdown. I'm calling that. It's going to be a red zone
Okay.
touchdown. Within the 20, he catches it, scores the touchdown. So there it is right there. Rashad Bateman for 7 this week. I get it. Let's go.
Love it. So my first one obviously was neutralizing Jamar Chase. Second one, it's not about the Bengals. It's about the Ravens. Josh Bynes has to start at linebacker. I want Josh Bynes, hopefully
Yes.
Patrick Queen. I would love to see those two play. I mean, Patrick Queen is on a short leash. I'm not going to mince words. He knows he has to be better. He will be better. I think he will be. But Bynes has to play. CJ Uzomah is a great tight end. He's not your Kels, Kittle, Waller, Andrews, but he's good. He can get you those first downs, which nobody really thinks about. Is if he gets a first down, like okay, but you can have 3 catches for 15 yards. That's 3 first downs. That can change the game. Bateman had 4 catches, all of them went for first downs. Those first downs were big, really big for our drives. So I would love to see Josh Bynes, help out our younger linebackers because that's just been our weakest point in the defense. If we can just keep Bynes, and I actually have a weird stat. I think ever since the Ravens, like the past 2 times, like we've signed Bynes in the regular season when he plays, we're 15-0. 15-0 with Josh Bynes in the past 15 games. 2019, he came in 12 straight wins. Came in here 3 straight wins. I'm loving it. I'm loving Josh Bynes. I feel like whatever we can do, like just to keep him as I saw Harbaugh wants him to be a coach and all that. That'd be awesome. So number 2, just Josh Bynes on the field. Yeah. My third and final. It's a receiver. I think I expect to have a big game. It's Devin Duvernay. Duvernay. And it's not just in the offensive game plan. It's in the special teams. I'm a sucker for trick plays and special teams, I'll be honest. When Duvernay was a receiver 3 against the Lions, he had a touchdown. I'm expecting Duvernay touchdown, to be honest. I'm expecting a big return. I think with Sammy Watkins out, Bateman's the 1 and 2. I'm not going to – I don't know who's the 1 or the 2. But I know Duvernay's going to be the 3. He's going to be getting his fair share of catches. And I think this would be a great week also to maybe sprinkle some more James Prochet. And we were talking about it before the stream. A little bit of Tylan Wallace. Like, I think he's done great in special teams wise. When he's playing as gunner, he's getting down there pretty quick. He has some speed. So I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of some number 16 in there, but that's my third is just kind of just get all the receivers in the game. If I can just give an extra one, use Devonta Freeman in the passing game. I love him as a pass-catching running back. Leave it at that.
Yeah, I think, and to your point, I think this would be a fabulous week to have that stat come up on the broadcast after like the first quarter or so. Oh, Lamar Jackson has completed passes to 6 different receivers. I would love that. I love seeing that on the broadcast, man, because just like it means we're getting everybody involved. This offense is really clicking, and that's something that we love to see, especially in the passing game. We've always had the run game down pat, but the passing game. Exactly. The passing game is something that's just started to come around for us Ravens fans, and we're very excited about it, and rightfully so, because we haven't had it for a while, But getting those guys involved, like you said, getting a Tylan Wallace, somebody like that, we talked about it before the stream, that would be huge,
because you don't know what he can do. There's no tape on him in the NFL. Like, he's going to be single covered, if anything. If he'll make it lost in the – I just want to see what we can do. I agree with you, King. He said Wallace would get the Prochet treatment. I honestly agree. I think this time next year, like in the summer, we'll be like, what can Tylan Wallace do? He had one catch and it went for a first down on a fourth down. Like why didn't he get more snaps? And like we've been calling for Prochet, and whenever he catches the ball, it's a great catch or it's a first down.
Yeah.
Maybe Wallace is, it's weird, but let's just hope that with these new receiving coaches, even in the Wired, they were talking. They had Keith Williams at Hollywood mic'd up. We could hear Keith Williams talking. I gotta think that hopefully none of these players get the I'm not gonna say the doghouse, but the cold shoulder. We'll
the cold shoulder, that rookie treatment where it's just like, you're not getting in the game. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. We know it's weird, especially with the receiving core and how much we like to run the football. Those guys who are like deeper on the receiving core, they really don't get the opportunities that they should, even though they're very talented, like Tylan Wallace, like James Prochet, even like Devin Duvernay as well,
Yeah.
But I wanted to see some of you guys' keys to victory down here. We got our guy Keeping It Real in the house. Big shout out to Keeping It Real. Thank you for joining the stream, man. Appreciate you. Says, I think this can be a big game for our receivers and pass rush. Yeah, pass rush is going to be huge.
We thinking Justin Houston 100th sack?
I'm thinking so. He's a half sack away from 100. So all he needs is a half a sack. But I definitely think he gets his full sack and breaks that 100 record. So I definitely see that happening for Justin Houston. Big shout out to Justin Houston as well, man, because he's played really well. He's one of those unsung heroes for us. Like he's
There's a reason why we wanted him.
Presence.
We were talking about it in April. We're like, can we get Justin Houston? It was like between Houston and Melvin Ingram, and we've kind of on the Justin Houston train. And I'm just glad he's here, honestly.
Yeah, the Justin Houston train is still rolling very, very strong for sure. Let's see. Our guy King says, let's get Bateman on some longer routes. I think this is an interesting one. I think what the Ravens are doing right now with Rashad Bateman is perfect. You saw a lot of his catches came underneath, a lot of, we're talking dig routes, out routes, curl routes, things like that. For him to get involved in the short to intermediate passing game, which is really his specialty. You look back at what he did in Minnesota, the majority of his catches came between 5 and 15 yards.
Yeah.
So if we can keep him kind of in his comfort zone there, along with Hollywood Brown, who normally is lining up right beside him. If you go back and watch that Chargers game, Rashad Bateman and Hollywood Brown, when they were on the field together, they were lined up on the same side of the field. And I don't think that's a coincidence at all. If you watch the last video that we put out here on the Purple Rain Podcast channel, I was basically talking about how I think T. Martin and Keith Williams are very, very strategically lining them up next to each other because you have Hollywood Brown, who's that deep threat, who can take the top off of a defense. So you actually have to send extra guys to defend that deep shot. All while Rashad Bateman is still underneath, he's going to get a lot of open looks because of that. So I do like what the Ravens are doing with him right now, just kind of keeping him in that short to intermediate game, getting him in a rhythm before they start asking more of him, to go deep, that sort of thing. I think it's going to work out this way. I think this is the way that the Ravens kind of want to make it happen. It's going to be a lot easier for Lamar Jackson that way too. So I would love to see Bateman on some longer routes. We were both at the Ravens open practice where he beat Marlon Humphrey up the sideline for that deep shot. So we know he can do it. We know he's capable. So I agree with you, King, but I think that the way that they're using him right now is very advantageous to not only the Ravens as a whole, but Lamar Jackson's development as a quarterback too. I feel like it's just very easy looks for him.
And with you bringing up what they've done with Hollywood and Bateman last week, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but can you just imagine what happens when Sammy Watkins is back? Can you imagine? Third down, 3rd and 5. All right,
set the scene,
let's just set the scene. All right, you got Hollywood Brown, Rashad Bateman, Sammy Watkins, Mark Andrews. Okay, and then you want some extra? Okay, we can put Devonta Freeman in the backfield. Okay, or hold up, you want Devin Duvernay in the slot?
Whew.
Or do you want some sure hands at James Prochet? Or let's throw him a curveball. You want Tylan Wallace? You want Miles Boykin, who I don't know, he's either hit or miss. But you know what I'm saying? It's just there's a lot of options now, and I don't want to. I mean, hey, I just am very happy that we finally said, you know what, we're not doing something right. Let's just go hire some help. and we hired
Yeah.
that with these coaches. And if you can't see that this team has gotten better with just passing the ball, you're not watching the game. Simple as that. It's
Just not
just a
watching
different
the game.
team. When the ball's in the air now, I feel comfortable. I'm like, okay, somebody's going to be open. Before, I'm like, are they going to catch it? Are they going to be open?
Right.
I mean, we still have our dropping problems, but I feel a lot comfortable with our guys getting open. Like, it's first down. Okay, we can get a first down on this pass. Like, why aren't we running? Oh, we're passing it. We can get it. So
Right. Exactly.
I mean, okay, 4th and 19 last year. You think we're going to get that against the Lions? 4th and 19.
Nah.
Exactly.
Like I said, I think I said it like the week or the episode after that 4th and 19 play in that game. I don't think that Willie Snead, Seth Roberts, those guys are coming down with that catch and making that play like Sammy
Nope.
Watkins was. I just don't. I don't even
They'll
think
get
they're
it,
in
but they'll be short.
position.
They'll be short.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, our receiving core and our offense is just way, way better this year, and I really hope that Chris Carter can do some more research on the Baltimore Ravens and figure that out, because you can kind of tell when you watch the mainstream media guys and those shows, you can tell which of those guys watch the games and which of them look at the box scores. Yeah,
bro, stick to NBA. Just stick to NBA. I don't like telling people to stick to a sport, but stick to the NBA.
Right.
If you don't know Taylor Lewan is on the Titans, you don't know football.
Yeah. All right. Oh yeah. Before we get into some score predictions, you heard Le'Veon Bell has been promoted.
About time. It's about damn time.
But we called this on the last episode, right? We were saying like it's basically between.
Can we get a Purple Rain crystal ball?
Right. We need it. Because at this point we've been calling stuff left and right, and it's been happening. So make sure you keep tuning in to the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel as well for information on the Ravens before that information even comes out. So, make sure you tune into us. But yeah, Le'Veon Bell is a part of the 53-man squad now. And we were saying it on the last episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Listen, it's either Le'Veon or Tyson Williams at this point. Which one do we want on the permanent roster? And the Ravens have made their choice. So, going forward, what do you think happens to Tyson Williams?
I think he's playing this week. I don't think Latavius Murray plays, unfortunately. That sucks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, trade deadlines is the 30th or 31st, around that time. I think
it's the first. I want to say
November 1st. Okay, so it's around there.
Yeah.
I just can't see us making. I mean, I think 1 year ago from tomorrow, we acquired Yannick Ngakoue. I don't expect that same thing to happen. If anything, like those little waiver wire pickups, I can't see us trading anybody. I can see us trading Tyson Williams for like a 6th or 7th round conditional pick. Hopefully he plays, gets us to a 5th or a 4th, but it sucks. But he's just not getting. We're not seeing something from him that the coaches are seeing. We're seeing two different things, and they see more than us, so we have to just trust them.
Yeah. I guess they're saying, like, as of right now, this guy, Tyson Williams, he's not going to produce enough to will us to a championship, to be like our bell cow back, like our number one running back, to get us to a championship. So it's like we might as well give these other veterans who we're actually paying real money to, we might as well give them their burn now while they are here, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. All right. So now let's go ahead and get into some score predictions. Some score predictions for this game against the Bengals. I see a couple of you guys already dropping your score predictions in there. You guys are already ahead of the curve. Drop your score predictions in the chat right now. Who do you think is going to win between the Ravens and the Bengals, and what will the score be? The final score, that is. Yeah. See, Stackhouse giving us our crystal ball. Thank you so much, Stackhouse. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Somebody giving us our credit here on the Purple Rain podcast. Episode 80. Make sure you like the video. How many likes are we at right now? Can we do a like check?
How many likes? 58.
58 likes.
We got 100 people watching. 100 people. Can we get to 80? 80 likes. 80 likes.
Come on, 80 likes, please. Please. Thank you so much. All right, let's get into some of these score predictions we have from you guys here. Karan Cruz kicking us off here says Ravens are winning 59-10.
Karan, you're running back to week 1, 2019.
Woo. Okay. All right. I like that. I mean, I hope just like every time when we call out you guys score predictions and one of y'all says a huge blowout, we really hope that happens. but it
Yeah,
normally ends up being
we
closer
do.
than we expect.
And we were wrong last
So,
week. We both had
we
very
were
close games, 3-point games, one possession. We were wrong.
right. Maybe we need to do that again this week, so that way we'll blow them out again.
I mean,
I don't know. Let's see. Lisa says here 45-10 Ravens, crying towels for the Bengals.
I like the way you
Okay,
think,
you
Lisa.
guys
I like the way you think.
projecting blowouts. I like that. Love West 45-10, same thing. Jackson Howard says 32-24 Ravens.
I
Okay.
like that.
Yeah, I do like that. I like that a lot, actually. I like that a lot. Let's see. Darius the official, even closer, says Ravens 28-23.
Darius, we're thinking the same because that's mine. That was mine. That was
Okay.
definitely mine. 28-23.
There we go. Big shout out to Darius the official, Ravens 28-23. Andre says Ravens 32-17.
Okay.
J Prime 235 says 29-20 Ravens. D3 is going 36-17 Ravens.
Okay.
Jonathan Washington Jr. says 27-19 Ravens. Okay. So we're kind of realistic. A lot of you guys are more realistic this week. A lot closer scores here. Tyrone Jones says 32-10 Ravens. Okay, like that. 36-17 Ravens, says Alexis. Azim Williams says 27-20. Who you going for, though? Ravens. Okay, he says Ravens.
Okay.
Got you. Malo 226 making his bold prediction. Lamar runs for a touchdown.
Can I get my bold prediction?
Sure.
Before we do bold predictions, Miles Boykin has a touchdown. Bold prediction.
Okay.
I think this is a very Miles Boykin-esque game to get a touchdown. Don't shoot the messenger. I just feel it's coming.
This is the Miles Boykin episode of the Purple Rain podcast.
Exactly.
So if he were to get a touchdown, that'd be very, very special.
Crystal
And Miles
ball
Boykin,
time.
Miles, I don't know if you're listening right now. Probably not.
Hey,
But hey, after the fact, if you score a touchdown, come over here on the Purple Rain podcast and chop it up with me and Alex, man. We'd appreciate it.
Oh man, I can just see the chat now. Oh boy, wouldn't it be fun? Oh boy.
They would expose us for all the crap we've been talking about Boykin, mystery Boykin. Anyway, Lil says 31-16 Ravens. Kimberly Harmon, shout out to Kimberly. Thank you for joining the stream. Says 40-5. Always predicting a blowout.
A safety
if there's one thing about Kimberly, Kimberly's always going to predict a blowout. So that's pretty funny. Shout out to her. Let's see. Kanan Ricketts says 38-10 Ravens. I like it. Bruh says 33-16. Okay, Ravens, I'm guessing. Alex, you said yours was 28-23, same as Darius the official?
Same as Darius.
Okay. Got you. I like that. I think that the Ravens will put up, I think it's going to be 31-17. I'm going to go 31-17.
I love it.
Yeah, man. I just see the Ravens it's going to be one of those games where it's like deceptively close. Like it looks close if you look at the score in the second or maybe the third quarter, but know if you're watching the game, the Ravens are controlling the game, they're dominating the game.
The experts don't watch the game though. That's
they
the
don't
problem.
Watch the games. They just watch the box score.
I see you, Ray. He said Marlo almost came with the interception that I predicted last week. I really thought it was just tipped. But you know what? I'll take him shutting down the receiver instead of a pick. Because look at certain cornerbacks, they'll get the picks, but sometimes they get burnt. But it's whatever. I think I think the crystal balls will be out next week for one of us. I don't know what it could be the Bateman touchdown, could be Boykin. Yeah. We'll start with Beast. I don't know. But one of them's gonna happen for sure.
They will. And listen, we've made a lot of bold predictions tonight. So a lot of mystery ball predictions tonight as well. So you're going to want to make sure you are subscribed to this channel. That way you can check in with us after the game on Monday. And we'll see who was right, who was wrong, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much, Ray, for joining the stream tonight again. Josh Romero says 29-18 Ravens. Milo226 says 35-21 Ravens. And our guy Void, another Purple Rain Pioneer, says 47-13 Ravens. Owe finna have a Chandler Jones week 1 type of game.
Void, is this going to be the Owe Defensive Rookie of the Year statement game? Are you telling me?
He needs one of those. Yeah.
Yep. That's what I'm hearing.
For sure. I think I want to say right now, Odafe Owe, he leads the team in pressures, quarterback pressures right now, which is a really, really interesting stat. I love that stat, even more so than sacks, because it means that even if you aren't getting home all the way, you are doing your job. You're getting after the quarterback. We don't want edge rushers who are glued to their defender, who are glued to their blocker the entire game. We don't want that. And Odafe Owe is not that guy, man. Despite his size, he's not like the widest guy. He's not built like a refrigerator or anything like that.
Like
But
Ben.
he knows how to, right, exactly. He knows like Big Benny boy over in Pittsburgh. But Odafe Owe, he definitely knows how to get around his man and get home to the quarterback. So let's see. Jackson Howard says 9 more likes to 80. Okay.
9 more.
We're
I
getting there.
think 9 more. We have our predictions to still do for week 7.
We do.
It's a great week for football. Thursday night game.
It is.
Is that all for the Ravens Bengals game?
You're saying, yeah, that's all for the Ravens Bengals preview. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and
cool.
get into our picks, our week 7 picks.
But before that, real quick, I want to give a big shout out to the Atlanta Braves. I don't know if you've been watching baseball.
Woo! Okay.
Yeah, 1 win away from the World Series. So I've been rooting for them.
Shout
out to my girlfriend. I've been rooting for her. But yeah, of course.
Who was it that made the big play yesterday for them?
Eddie Rosario. He had 2 home runs.
Rosario, yeah, I heard about
had 2 home runs.
Nice.
Double away from a cycle too. Hey, playoff baseball is just different, bro. Like as Baltimore fans, we haven't experienced playoff baseball in 5 years, but it'll hopefully soon because it's just fun.
Yeah. Hopefully the Orioles can turn it around.
In 2014, Ravens and Orioles were in the playoffs. It was so much fun back then, and in 2012 too. It's fucking lovely. Good times.
All right. So, let's get into one more bold prediction. This one's coming from Jonathan Washington Jr. Says Hollywood Brown makes up for his drop touchdown pass last week with 2 touchdown catches this week versus the Bengals. 1 to Bateman and Freeman, 1 rushing touchdown. Lamar throws for 290 yards and adds another 76 yards rushing. Ravens 28-19. That's a very realistic stat line. I like that.
Jonathan, if this happens, bro, crystal ball. Like, I need to find a way to put a crystal ball next to your name.
Yeah,
I love it. I mean, Hollywood, he'll make up for them drops next game. We see it.
Right. You guys definitely, we love when you guys put your bold predictions down here in the chat. I think we're going to start keeping track of that because, like, whichever one of you guys is right, we'll give you guys your honor, your flowers on the next episode of PRP. Because, predicting something that happens in the NFL is pretty big, because it's very slim chances that, it does happen. So.
Big and shout out to you, Jonathan. Before that, can you pull up where I got Joe's comment? Just Joe. Big shout out to Joe. Yeah. Huge shout out. If I could shake your hand, I would. It says Bengals fan here. Nice podcast, guys. Thank you. Ready for an AFC North battle this weekend. Nice to have a competitive team for the first time since 15-16. Hey, man, don't forget that 17-year when you guys knocked us out of playoff contention. Don't forget that. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's going to be a good game. Burrow against Lamar. I mean, this could be this quarterback's the future for the AFC North. I mean, these guys could very well be running it. I mean,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. Very good offense. I mean, the Bengals defense, they showed up. I mean, I've had my doubts. They proved me wrong. So that's why I both of our picks. They weren't too far away. I mean, it could be anybody's game, but I have the 1 possession game. You have it 31-17. So you never know. Yeah. But just a big shout out to Joe for being respectful. Thank you.
Definitely. Shout out to you, Joe. Thank you so much for joining the stream as well. We appreciate you. Now, look, let's go ahead and get into our picks. Let's go ahead and get into our picks for this week. NFL Week 7 is right around the corner. And by right around the corner, I mean in like 25 minutes. Week 7 is kicking off. The Broncos are taking on the Browns first and foremost. Thursday Night Football in Cleveland. Baker is out. Case Keenum is in. Alex, who do you have winning this matchup?
This is a big game for the Broncos. They are on a 3-game losing streak. I need glove Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy Two Shoes, Teddy Toe Tap, something. I need him to show up. The Browns are liable. I mean, we talk about the Ravens injuries. The Browns have some injuries too. There's Von Miller against some random tackle tonight. Von, you got to get it done because I think this is his last year with the Broncos. Show why you should be on a contender next year. I honestly, I want the Broncos. I just think the Browns have more quality. They have the better coach. I'm going to go with the Browns tonight. I want the Broncos, but I think the Browns are going to win with Case Keenum. It's going to be an ugly game. This is like a Thursday night game. It's going to be ugly. Very ugly, but the Browns are going to win.
So, Alex, I guess you're saying that like there's not a huge difference between a healthy Case Keenum and a hurt Baker Mayfield.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Got you. Okay, understandable.
Just don't make mistakes, Case. Don't make mistakes. I know they're not the running game, but
Yeah,
Jarvis and Odell are playing. Donovan Peoples-Jones, I think, is one of the most underrated players in the league. They got
yeah.
receivers. So this is the same Case Keenum. We took the Vikings to the NFC Championship. So
Respect. For
yeah,
all purposes, I mean, I'm going with the Broncos in this one. I am.
I can see
I
that.
feel like it's gonna be. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a close game. But I think the Broncos defense pulls it out in the end. I feel like it's gonna be a close game. It's gonna come down to can Case Keenum make one or two game winning drives, and I feel like he throws a costly interception, and that kind of seals the deal. I got Broncos winning tonight. But the next game, Sunday at 1 p.m., the Washington football team is visiting the Green Bay Packers. Who do you got winning that one?
It's hard to go against the Packers, man. I put a tweet out that I'm picking up
Yeah,
Whitney Merciless when they get fully healthy, get Jair back, hopefully Zadarius Smith back. They could be my favorites in the NFC, up there with the Rams and the Bucks. I got the Packers. You got a pissed off Aaron Rodgers. I love it. You got a
yeah.
cocky Aaron Rodgers. Give me Green Bay about like 3 possessions.
Yeah, I'm going Green Bay in that one too, man. The Washington, they're still a legitimate quarterback away, and Taylor Heineke, like
Yeah,
I like what I've seen from him, like here and there. He shows a lot of scrappiness. He shows a lot of fight, but he doesn't really seem to be like that quarterback who's going to get it done from start to finish. You know what I mean? Um,
pain.
you know,
That's why
I
they could
think
be in talks with
that
Tua.
yeah, yeah, they could. Whew. And they're only in talks for Tua because the Dolphins are in talks for Deshaun Watson, which is a whole nother story and
It's a whole nother,
situation. But
that's a whole nother
right,
segment on the show.
exactly. But
That's
yeah,
a bye week. That's for next week. The bye week. It's something to talk about.
right.
Like
Yeah. We got to buy next week, so we're gonna have to find things to talk about. We'll save that segment for then. So make sure you tune into next week, like the video, subscribe as well. But yeah, like I said, we both got Packers for that one. Also at 1 p.m., the Chiefs are going to Tennessee to take on the Titans. Who do you got winning that game? That's gonna be
this
interesting.
is an interesting game because the Chiefs defense very
Ass.
much looked like the Rhode Island defense last week that Mike Towson beat up on.
Mm.
Big F you to tell Rhode Island, by the way, and their fans for just being very rude to us. Um, yeah, they were rude, very rude to
Yeah.
the Towson students. Um, you know, I had this mantra that I would never go against Patrick Mahomes because I saw what he's done to so many teams. You could have a very, very good offense. That offense has to put up points every single possession with a defense like that.
Yeah.
And I'm picking the Titans.
I don't hate that. And you want to know why I don't hate that? I don't hate that because I'm also
2022.
picking the Titans in 22. Derrick Henry. We saw what he did last week at what, almost 200 yards rushing, something like that?
And he broke that run out of nowhere. That was
Yeah.
my biggest worry in that playoff game. It's like you can shut Derrick Henry down 39 plays out of 40. On that 40th play, he'll
Yeah.
break it. And thankfully, we had all of the Monstars and Derek Wolf. He was about to break that one run. I know you remember what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Shoestring tackle.
Hmm.
Shoestring tackle. And it saved it. And that could have been the difference in that playoff game last year.
Right.
But yeah, that's why it's the Titans are, to me, still a very scary team in the AFC.
They are, man. And like you said, the Chiefs defense is not equipped to stop Derrick Henry. And
No.
also, you look at their passing game as well. Ryan Tannehill, he's not the most explosive guy. We know that, but he does have explosive weapons on his team now at the wide receiver position. Um, Julio Jones, we all know what he's capable of. AJ Brown started to come on last week as well. So if he can continue to get healthy, I think that, this team has a lot of potential still. Just like I feel like the Chiefs still have a lot of potential, but the Chiefs fixing their defense is going to take a lot more time
Yep.
than whatever the Titans have to fix.
And it starts with
Uh,
bench and Daniel Sorensen. It starts
right.
with that. You got to start
That
throwing
too.
hands, kids.
He was getting burned. Sorensen was getting burned. Who did they play the other week where Sorensen just got torched like the whole game?
The Bills, the
The Bills. Right.
Ravens.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
we torched him too. I mean,
Yeah.
Tyrann Matthews like, hey, Tyrann Matthew, by the way, if you want to come and play for a team that knows how to use you in defense, black and purple.
Hey, a team that specializes on defense. Hey, I'm just saying.
I won him over Earl Thomas a couple years back. Believe it or not.
I'm just saying. But yeah, we both surprisingly have the Titans over the Chiefs in that matchup, so we'll definitely monitor that. Moving on, Falcons at Dolphins. Who you got?
Ew and ew.
I know,
Ew
right?
and ew. Yeah. Who did the Dolphins play last week? Kind of forget.
Who did they play? I don't even remember.
'Cause I know the Falcons won. No, I don't even know if they won. That was 2 weeks ago in the London game. This is just kind of a coin flip. I trust Matt Ryan over Tua, so I'm gonna go Falcons.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, they
Man.
lost to the Jags.
They
Thank
lost
you,
to the
Caleb.
Jag. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, in London. That's right.
Yeah,
Yep.
they lost to the Jags. That was the London game. I'm
Yep.
gonna go Falcons.
I'm gonna go Falcons too. I'm gonna go Falcons in this one.
And Jabari says Dolphins doing Dolphins things. I agree with you, Jabari.
Yeah, we got Falcons in that game. Jets at Patriots.
Patriots. Mac Jones. Hey, Mac Jones showed me a lot last week. They may have
Yeah.
lost, but Mac Jones showed me something. I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
Mac Jones looking like the best rookie quarterback.
Woo!
Hey, you know, when you really think about it, you look at guys like Trevor Lawrence, who already has 8 interceptions on the year. Zach Wilson, who leads the league in interceptions. Right? You know what I mean? Like
Trey Lance. He's hurt. He's hurt.
He's hurt.
I mean,
Justin Fields not really in the best situation right now, and it's only been starting for a couple weeks at that. Mac Jones, I don't want to say by default, but he's performed better than all the other rookie quarterbacks. For that reason, and because they also have Bill Belichick, and he knows how to deal with rookie quarterbacks, I've got the Patriots winning this game. Hey, wait, the Patriots have already played the Jets this season.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So this is their second matchup in week 7, which is crazy. I don't think much will change. I got the Patriots winning this game very easily.
And what I saw from Mac last week that I really liked? I'm not a huge fan of him, but he had that pick 6. Trevon Diggs picked him off. Next series, throws his way. I get that the safety didn't help, but he went right back there, and that's just having a short memory. And I really like that from Mac Jones, so give him that.
Yep. All right, so Panthers at Giants.
Oh, same thing with the same thing I said about the Broncos. Same thing I say about the Panthers. Start off 3-0, you go 0-3 next 3 games. This is a big game for you. I think the Panthers will do it. I got them.
I got Panthers in this one too, for sure. Definitely got Panthers. Giants, they just seem a little bit too banged up, and when they're not banged up, they really don't seem to be on the same page all the time, especially offensively. I got the Panthers in this one. Bengals at Ravens. We both have Ravens, of course. Eagles at Raiders.
Oh, Eagles showed me a little something in the Thursday game last week with a little comeback.
They did. I'm going with the Raiders though.
So am I. I like what Hurts is doing, but I think the Raiders, they got something to play for now. No Gruden.
Yeah,
that kind of is out the window. I need to see something from Carr, Waller, Ruggs. Ruggs is looking a lot better this year. His second year, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Ruggs. Renfro. Yeah. I'm gonna go Raiders with you too.
Yeah, definitely got Raiders there. Lions at Rams. Rams for sure here. It's gonna be Jared Goff versus his old team in LA and Sean McVay and those boys. But I don't think there's anything that he's gonna be able to do about the Rams, especially with the Rams at home in LA. Yeah, I got the Rams all day. Rams all day.
Why do I want to say Lions just for the hell of it? Just for the hell of it.
No, you don't.
Just for the hell of it. Just for the fun of it. I think the Rams, but if the Lions won, that would be pretty funny. It's like the Rams are obviously a contender. Even if the Lions won, this Rams still a contender. It would just be hilarious.
Yeah.
But what about Dan Campbell calling out Jared Goff, saying they need more from him? What about that?
Because they do. They do. I mean, this is the same thing. I'm pretty sure Sean McVay is looking at his TV set like, I told you so. I wasn't wrong, right? Jared Goff is not the guy. He's not the guy who's going to win you a championship. He's not the guy who's going to go off script and make plays. Everything has to be perfect for Jared Goff. When things have to go according to plan.
He did it one time. He went off script. NFC. I don't know. Listen, I agree with you. He did the NFC Championship the only time ever. He picked a great time for his best game to come off script. I'll give it to him. But I think the Rams are going to win this very easily. But
yeah, definitely.
At least show me something, Jared Goff. I'm still rooting for you. Still a Jared Goff fan at heart.
This answers your question, Lisa. Will Dan Campbell get his first win? No,
unfortunately,
not this week. Unfortunately, not. They will most likely go 0-7. 0-7, which sucks, right? 0-7. Jesus, can you imagine?
Oh, can I give you a little fun fact? Real quick. The Ravens have the most players in the IR in the league. You know who's number 2?
The Lions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a big shout out to K-Dog for giving me that fact. Big shout out to our mod K-Dog.
Okay,
It's
dog.
crazy. That's just the quality of the Ravens. Like, don't question what we do. I mean, I question it, but I shouldn't. Like,
Yeah,
we're 5-1, and the team with the second most is 0-6. So
yeah. It's really a night and day difference between us and like other franchises when it comes to certain things like that. So, yeah. All right, moving on. Last couple games. Texans at Cardinals. Definitely got the Cardinals in that one for
Cardinals
sure.
by 4 score. Hey, Kyler Murray, quarterback, fantasy owners like me, smile.
Smile. Exactly. Bears at Bucks.
Bucks.
Bucks for sure, but I feel like it'll be closer than people think. I
I
don't
can
know.
see it there. I can see
Yeah.
it.
I'm seeing. I'm talking about like a one possession game. Talking about a
Yeah, I
one
can see that.
possession game there for sure. But definitely got the Bucks pulling it out. Colts at 49ers.
Oh,
That's a
oh,
tough one. That's a tough
this is a
one.
weird game. This is like two
It
mediocre
is.
teams going at it with a little bit of quality on each side.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Colts though.
Is it in San Fran or in
Yeah.
Indianapolis?
It's in San
San
Fran.
Fran.
Yeah.
I'm a Trey Lance fan too, which sucks. I can see the Colts winning. I can see either team winning this.
Mm.
You know what? Just for the sake of it, I'm pick Niners. This will be our one game. We just go each side. I'll go Niners just for the sake of it.
Niners. Okay. I like that. I like
We've
that.
we've been like on the same page with a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the games we are on the same page because, great minds, they think alike. But yeah, I got Colts, you got 49ers. We will watch out for that one. Then Monday night, rounding it all out for week 7 of NFL action, we have the Saints going to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Who do you got winning that one?
This week's primetime games aren't it?
I know.
Browns, Broncos, Colts, Niners,
Yeah.
and Saints, Seahawks. I mean, if obviously if Russ was playing, I want to say Seahawks, but I trust Jameis more than Geno Smith, so I'm gonna go
Yeah.
Saints.
I got Jameis over Geno too. I'm gonna go Saints. I'm gonna say I don't think it's close either. I think the
Ooh,
Saints.
hot take,
Yeah, I don't think it's close. I think
hot
the Saints
take,
win by at least 2 scores, 14 or more. Calling it right here, right now. I
and
think
it's just
Jameis throws for 3 or 4 touchdowns.
it's hard being a Kalen Zacharias Metcalf fan right now. It's hard.
Yes, yeah. Especially after the shit he pulled after last week. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
man, but he really put a bad taste in my mouth, like in terms of like how he thinks and everything like that. When he came at Shannon Sharp sideways, it was just like, come
yeah,
on, man. You made a bad play. You fumbled and
yeah,
everything. After you fumbled, you just kind of casually walk back to the line like you were just like, damn,
yeah,
I know I fucked up, but like I'm gonna try to play it off like I'm cool. And then you go on Twitter the next day and say what you said to an OG, a Hall of Famer, a 3-time Super Bowl
yeah.
champion. Didn't land right with me. Didn't sit right with me at all. So not a big DK Metcalf fan right now. That's just me. But
I
yeah,
got you.
yeah. That's going to do it for our picks this week. And I think that's going to do it for episode 80 of the Purple Rain podcast. We have gotten
The
through
question
everything
segment will be
tonight.
back next week. It's bye week.
It
Don't
will be.
forget. Next week is
Yeah.
bye week.
Yeah.
We got the. You guys go watch your Thursday Night Football. Go watch the
Right.
Braves beat the Dodgers. Go.
Right.
Go.
Exactly. Exactly. Make sure you guys go ahead and tune into that Braves Dodgers game, but also the Broncos and Browns game that is going on tonight. We got a fellow AFC North opponent playing some
Yep.
football tonight. So make sure you guys tune in. That game should be kicking off in about 9 to 10 minutes. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for coming through episode 80 of the Purple Rain podcast. I am Sutton Def. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def, just like you see right there. And this cool guy over here, you can find him on Twitter at simplyas10prod and on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. Make sure you guys follow us both. We both talk about Ravens football all day on Twitter. He's always posting about it on Instagram. And if you are not subscribed to Simply AS10 on YouTube already, what are you doing?
Thank you.
What are you doing? Make sure you go on YouTube right now, type in Simply AS10 and hit that subscribe button if you want to be kept up to date on all things NFL highlights at all times, because he's on it every time, man. I don't know how he does it. I respect his work hustle and his grind, man. So make sure you guys subscribe to his YouTube channel as well. But with that being said, like I said, thank you guys so much for coming out to episode 80 of the Purple Rain podcast. I'm gonna let my guy Alex take us out.
Go ahead. Go enjoy. Let's just hope the Broncos win tonight, And a big thank you to you, Yolanda. Thank you to everybody out there. I see you, Jonathan, talk about NBA. Talk NBA next week, too. Bye week. We have nothing but time next week. You know that.
Right.
But thank you for everybody coming through. Episode 80, Miles Boykin episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. And as always, stay positive, test negative.
Yes. And don't you ever, ever, ever forget to call God. This has been episode 80 of the Purple Rain Podcast. We're going to catch you guys in the next